guys, it's Melissa. In this video, we are doing part 2 of the Epson V1070 setup. This is the software installation. This is, I would not say much easier than the actual printer setup. There are probably 4 or 5 different things that you need to download and install and set up. Once you get that set up, I will tell you that actually using Epson Edge Print is actually pretty simple. The printing part, very easy. The setup part, not so easy. Now, here's the thing. I record things on my computer as I go, like when I'm actually doing it, and my computer had a hiccup and it did not record me actually doing the installation. So I kind of had to go back and try to redo it as best I can, which actually maybe not such a bad thing, but I will tell you that I have already installed it. And so what I'm about to show you is going to guide you through, but just know that you won't be seeing things like it's processing, and I might be saying things like now follow the prompts, okay? But there are 4 or 5 things that you need to do. You need to do them in a specific order, and I will show you all of that. I will show you where to get everything. Don't worry, by the end of this, everything's gonna be installed. We are gonna be ready to print, and then I will have some bunch of tutorials for you coming soon on how to use Edge Print, how to do your first print, all of that fun stuff. So let's get to it. Okay, so we are going to start on the Epson support website. I will put the link to this in the description below. First thing you want to do is pick your operating system. And if you're not sure, make sure you go and find out from your computer what you're looking for. Okay, so I'm Windows 11, and what you see is I have 4 different options here. All of these I'm going to expand. Now, you don't need to install the other software right now, but you do need to install the firmware, the utilities, and the drivers. So we are going to install the drivers first, the firmware second, and then we are going to come back and do Edge Print, which is the utility, later. Okay, that not later, but next, after we get the other 2 things squared away. Okay. All right, so what you're going to do is you are going to, as I mentioned, you are going to download the firmware and the drivers. And I have both of those on my computer here, okay? So the first thing is the firmware you want to set up first. That's this one here that's called FW. Now, I would make sure before you do the firmware update that you have your the printer, the V1070, already on your Wi-Fi network. Okay, so you do that on the control panel. Once you do that, go ahead and install all of this. It comes in a zip file, so you're going to need to extract and then run it. Once you do that, it will, again, walk you through, and it's going to confirm that that's done. Once you've done that, then go ahead and click on the drivers download that you download. All right, and what that's going to do is, again, another series of steps to set up. It's going to walk you through. If I can do this on a PC when I am a Mac girl, you can do this, I promise you. Okay, so once you get those done, then you're going to come back over here where it says to learn more about your Edge Print. And what you need to do is 2 things. You need to install Edge Print, and then you need to install the model information. So click here for downloading the Edge Print main installer, okay? And then you're going to scroll down and you're going to find the model that you have. And we have the SCV, okay? And you're going to expand that, and you are going to click the V1000 series, all right? There's a lot of information and options here, but you want to download the V1000. Those 2 files are then going to be in your downloads, wherever your downloads go. Don't click on the V1000 first. That you need to do that. If you do that, it's going to tell you you can't do this until Edge Print is installed. So what you need to do is you need to do Edge Print first. And then once you get Edge Print set up, go through that, this main installer, EEP setup, again, extract all and run. Then you're going to go back and you're going to do your model installer. Okay, so what that's going to do is make sure that you have all of the controls, everything for, gloss and all of that in Edge Print. Next thing that you're going to do is launch Edge Print. So you'll have this icon on your desktop. You're going to go through and you're going to add your license key. So this is the type of thing that you're seeing as you go through. And again, I apologize that I already did this and it didn't originally record. So I'm going to click online while I'm here and click proceed. Now, it came with a CD, as if this is 1980, and inside that CD case, you are going to have a code. That code is about 16 digits. It is 16 digits. And you need that because obviously your computer, unless it's an antique, probably doesn't have a CD-ROM. So you're going to add your code in here. And once you do that, you are going to get the option to proceed. This is just your license key. If you lose this license key, you're going to have to buy another version of EdgePrint, and it's not cheap. So it's going to authenticate, then it's going to tell you it's finished, then it's going to tell you that you need to register your printer, and this will pop up automatically. Again, why it's so important to have your V1070 already on your network so that everything can just be found. You don't have to be physically plugged in, okay? So I am not physically connected between my computer and my V1070. I'm just on the same network here, okay? So I'm going to select that. I'm actually going to rename this just for my own sake. I don't like when I have so many printers, I make sure everything is renamed. And then you're going to click register. And again, you're going to follow the prompts. There's not very many. Once you get to this point, you have successfully set up all of the drivers, the utility, and EdgePrint for your V1070. And at this point, we are ready to do our first print. There are a couple of things that you definitely need to know, but as I mentioned, printing on this UV printer, this flatbed UV printer, is actually far easier than any and all of the setup. So let's go. I'm going to send you over to our first print, and I'm excited for you to see how easy this is.